Dare to gamble. Guess how many guys will look back at this long-legged hottie as she walks by. Jesse says 8. Tom says 3. Next to a rich man said I guess 5. The next 3 of them together to verify that Jesse wins. Take the money, take the money. She said she knows these guys too well. Now the rich man is getting excited. One more game. Guess which team fouls first on the court, this time for 1,000. The rich man guesses the defensive team. Tom bets on the offense. Game on. Offensive team number 77, pulling foul. Tom wins. The rich man is not convinced and bets $5,000. Guess whether the next player will pass or run. Players number 9 run. The rich man finally wins. Now Tom loses, a little depressed. He wanted to leave, but the rich man won't let Tom go. One last game. Alright, this time bet on whether the player can kick the ball or not. You'll get your money back if you win by betting 10,000. Tom did not resist the temptation and agreed. He ended up losing again. His girlfriend Jessie advised him to stop and leave, but Tom was so excited that he bet 900,000. Guess if the kickoff player can catch the ball. The rich guy guesses he can catch it. Tom said he'd kick it in the knee, and the player catches the ball solidly. Tom loses again. At this point, he's completely lost his mind. He grabbed the bag from Jesse's hand. He pours it all out on the table. Here's $1 million. We don't bet on football anymore. Let's just play poker for size. The rich man is excited and happy to play. The rich man turns over his cards. First a 5 is turned up. Tom looked at it and smiled. He was sure to win. The rich man laughed again when he turned over his cards and saw that it was the 3 of hearts. Jesse was devastated, sitting on the floor directly. In just a few minutes, all their money was gone. At this point, the rich man even made a mocking remark. Sorry brother, cannot play with the master. Is the end of this now? Tom was completely on top of it. He turned around and went back and said 2 words: doubled. The rich man thought he was crazy and told him to stop playing, but Tom had a determined face. Cut the crap and play a big game. This time you pick any player's number on the field and let Jessie guess it. If she gets it right, I win. Rich people think Tom is crazy. You're out of your mind. But who doesn't want free money? I'll bet you. Now Jessie is completely angry and Tom argued. However, the rich man had already chosen the players and asked Tom if he wanted to write down the number. Tom said no need to believe you. Then let Jessie pick up the binoculars to choose the number. Jessie's mind was in a state of confusion, but suddenly she saw a familiar figure in the crowd. Wasn't that their good friend Alan? She couldn't believe it. One more look. Number 55. That's amazing. How did you do that? The rich guy loses. But he's happy, because it's amazing. He's happy to pay for the fun. In the end, Tom and Jessie walked away with $2 million. That's right, Tom, Jessie, and Alan, who was pretending to be a player, were professional con artists. All of this is Tom set up the game, but the key to this game is Jessie. She did not know anything in advance. That's why she acted so naturally without arousing suspicion from the other side. But what Jessie didn't understand was how Tom knew that the rich man would pick number 55. Tom said, we told him to choose. So this rich man is a legendary gambler who can gamble anytime and anywhere. Tom heard he was coming to watch the game, so he brainwashed him in advance that the rich man's hotel lights were 55 and the elevator ad was 55. The pin on the bottom of the security guard is also 55 on the street, and car ads are everywhere 55 in addition. Also arranged for Alan appeared in front of him in this way 55. This number has long become his subconscious, so when he picked up the binoculars immediately saw the number 55. He thought it was intuition, but did not know that it was tailor-made for him. Jessie listened to Tom, a face of admiration, but suddenly Tom asked the driver to stop and throw Jessie $80,000 and said your mission is complete. Break up. Then Tom got into another car and left, leaving Jessie with a dumbfounded face. She couldn't understand why, but did not know that this is Tom's other plan. A beautiful woman comes up to you and asks you to be her boyfriend. When you refuse, surely not. Look at Tom's excited face. Then if you are invited to go to the hotel with him, more willing to it. But the two just ready to sweet, a man rushed in claiming to be Jessie's boyfriend. He told Tom to pay or he would shoot him. Who knew that? Tom did not panic at all. Incidentally, I'm thinking about dying. I don't mean that, because I have cancer and I'm not going to live much longer anyway. Jessie saw that the show could not go on, so he said to the man, okay, let's call it the day. Tom already saw that they are playing the fairy jump, but who does not want the beauty that comes to the door? Anyway, they do not lose, so they will take advantage of the plan to take more advantage before leaving. Tom also educated them both. This acting skill so bad, future worry on ACC. This is to meet the master. All will pester Tom, let him teach himself 2 moves. Also said he was willing to pay for tuition. Tom could not resist her and told her the key to this business is the 2 words focused. He stole Jessie's ring while he was talking, pulled her hand around a watch and got it, then the ring, wallet, bank card, sunglasses, cell phone, keys and even bags were all stolen. Jessie was very impressed with Tom. She chased him all the way and wanted to join his team. Tom decided to give her a chance, let her work with her teammates to see how well she could do. The test began when Jessie pretended to ask for directions. Take a map to block a partner and take the expensive lens. Then she handed it to her teammate with the opposite hand. Then the partner pretended to bump into a passerby. Jessie took the opportunity to take their wallets and throw them into the teammate's hat. Then she took the lunchbox again using chopsticks to pick out the woman's wallet. Then she puts it in the lunchbox and moves it away. Then she runs into a passerby and pretends to help wipe her purse, but then unlocks her purse. The teammate took it and finally pretended to break her leg in the blink of an eye. The man's watch is gone and then smoothly into the man's arm. So the wallet also got in hand. A series of operations down. Tom was very satisfied and agreed to let Jessie join the team, then began to give her literacy. The most common scam app is the small casino. Each table will have a cheat. You see this man put on special glasses. You can immediately see the fluorescent markings on the cards. As long as you cheat people into the game, you can win all the time. In addition, there are ways and means of stealing. After the credit card is in hand, enter the information and put it back, so the other party may not find out for several days. As for how to crack the password, the computer will steal all the information on the card and record the password, so check the village password can also be done. Got it? Wow, did he do that? Yes, it was Alan who invented this machine. I didn't realize that Jessie and Alan had a good understanding of each other. They're having a good conversation, and then they get into it in a second. Are you ready? Yes. Oh my god, somebody help me. The crowd was coming to see what was going on. No one was aware that their wallets had been stolen, while his partner was busy. Jessie didn't stay idle. The eager doctor who caught the scene jerked off his watch and shoved it directly into Alan's pants pocket. Jessie's business was becoming more and more proficient. Her affection for Tom was also growing, but just when she thought she couldn't live without Tom anymore, Tom suddenly turned his back on her and wanted to break up with her because there's a rule in their business that you can't be sincere. And the next Tom has a big list to prepare. More cannot be distracted. But what he didn't expect was, 3 years later, just as Tom is about to carry out this long-planned plan, Jessie shows up on the scene. Tom had spent 3 years planning a scam. Here's the plan. This wealthy man is the owner of a racing club. The club had developed a very impressive technology, the fuel consumption algorithm. With this software, they could improve the winning rate. All the owners wanted it, and what the rich man wants Tom to do is to pretend to be his engineer and then pick a crowded venue to get in trouble with the rich guy, so the competition would throw Tom an olive branch. Tom would take the opportunity to sell them the fake software. This will interfere with the game and help rich win. Everything was ready for the plan, but Tom never expected the sudden appearance of a familiar figure. It was his ex-girlfriend Jessie, and Jessie is now the rich man's girlfriend. Damn, this plan will be flawed. But I did not expect that Jessie took the initiative to approach Tom and said he had already quit. Now she just wants to have a good relationship with her boyfriend, so begged Tom to keep his past secret. Now Tom's heart began to stir. Originally the jealousy of Jessie is not forgetting. Now on the head, one could not resist her and beat up the rich man for real if it wasn't for the butler pulling him away. I think the rich man would have been buried, but this made the plan go more smoothly. The competition soon approached him, but he still cannot let go of Jessie in his heart, so he tricked Jessie into meeting with him. Then he confesses his love for Jessie and wants to get back together, but Jessie did not give him a chance. Brother, you dumped me in the first place. Now it's too late to regret it and turn around and leave. Sure enough, the unavailable, always stirring Tom was not willing to call the good brother Alan to help. Alan said a lot of good things about Tom and then took out another thing. This is a necklace that Jessie liked at first. See, so many years Tom still keep Jessie also soft heart. The two are finally back together. Now Tom can focus on the implementation of the plan. He successfully sold the software to the opponent and wished them good luck, and the other guy was grateful to Tom. Who needs luck when you have a friend like you? The rich man said the same thing on the phone when the job was done. With a friend like you, who needs luck? But then more people said the same thing to him. With a friend like you, who needs luck? What the hell? It turns out that the rich man only asked Tom to sell their fake software to a rival company, but he sold it to all the teams, and he sold the real software. He made a whole trunk full of money. At night, he took Jessie to run away, but he was rear-ended halfway. Then he and Jessie were kidnapped by the rich man. It turns out that the rich man is not a vegetarian. He had planted spies around Tom, so he already knew Tom's plan. A pinch of Jessie's nose and asked Tom where the real software came from. Seeing that Jessie was almost suffocated, Tom had to admit he gave Jessie the necklace installed in the wireless key logger. As long as Jessie entered the rich man's room, all the data can be read, but Jessie did not know anything about it. But I did not expect. The rich man laughed wildly after listening to a tear off Jessie's tape, and the next words of Jessie directly let Tom broke down. She said she was not even dating the rich man. Approached the rich man only to steal his valuable watch. She made out with him just to be angry with Tom, and every time the rich man tried to take advantage of him, She said she was having her period 8 times a month. The rich man said your mother is quite free. Also from the beginning to the end she did not enter the rich man's room. Tom listened to the face of desperation to die. Just die and shoot. Who knows, the rich man's butler really gave him a shot. The rich man was terrified. You are sick, I really shoot, said scared and fled, and Tom soon died. Jesse was heartbroken, but the next butler came over and did not panic to give him emergency surgery. It turns out that he is Tom's mole and Tom's adoptive father. The software was stolen from him. He has been lurking in the rich man's place for 3 years for this business. That shot was to escape, and he certainly did not hit the fatal location. After some resuscitation, Tom did wake up, but because of Tom's true feelings for Jesse broke the rules, almost led to the failure of the plan. As punishment for the adoptive father took all the money. Then Jesse sent Tom to the hospital. This is the first time they returned empty-handed, but as they walked, the two suddenly laughed. The original odd do not know when Jesse has stolen the rich man's watch to hand, and this watch is more valuable than the money.